afternoon. I'm Lori Quinn, Champlain's Provost and Senior Vice President for Academics. Let me begin by welcoming you to Champlain College's 140th opening convocation. This afternoon, our community has gathered to welcome you, our incoming class, and we are thrilled you are finally here. I know this has been a whirlwind of a day for you. It has also been a day in your life that I hope you will never forget. You will only ever have one first day of college. Savor it. And know that even if your parents have already called or texted you, they will be okay. I'm confident that you will make them proud and show them that you're ready for all the opportunities and adventures that Champlain will provide you. Before we begin our convocation program, there are several folks here that should be recognized. First and foremost, members of our Board of Trustees. Here today are Champlain trustees Nicole Kerrigan, Laura Dagan, Neil Lunderville, Mark Nagley, Brad Robertson, Dr. Ken Palm, and Dr. Peter Stern. Pleasure to welcome President Don Lockman and members of the President's Cabinet, Dr. Angela Batista, Dr. Lisa Bunders, Robert Caldwell, and Katie Hawley. Krista Bennett, class of 2018, represents your Student Government Association as its president. Dr. Cindy Brandenburg is the 2017 Edward Phelps Lyman Professorship recipient for outstanding teaching and dedication to students and to Champlain. And Tiffany Bloomley is our Distinguished Citizen for 2017. Make sure I'm in the right year. You will hear more from Professor Brandenburg and Tiffany Bloomley in a few minutes. Distinguished visitors, faculty, and staff, it is a pleasure to see all of you here today and to join us in welcoming our incoming class. You may have seen a Latin word on some of our materials and our buildings here at Champlain. The word is audiamos. It means let us dare. And there are a few bigger dares than starting a new and exciting phase of your life. Today, we mark the beginning of your college career as part of the class of 2021. This opening convocation ceremony is a long-standing tradition at Champlain, during which we formally welcome you, the first-year class, to our academic community. Convocation occurs at colleges and universities throughout the country and the world. The academic regalia you see us in today is a sign of respect, both for the accomplishments of those who wear it on important days like today, and respect for you, who will be earning your own cap and gown before you know it. And I know you might want to not think about that today, but it will be here before you know it. So class of 2021, we want to see you think deeply and learn well. We want you to be living proof of our mission of academic excellence, and we want to see you getting involved, becoming leaders, making a difference, and serving your community. Faculty and staff of Champlain, including your professors, the deans, associate provosts, librarians, student life leaders, and others, we are here, ready and willing to support your learning and your success. Our student-focused community is much bigger than our academic experts, but I'd like to take a moment and talk about some of those influential teachers who make a lasting impact on our college community through their excellence as faculty. They are the Francine Page Award and the Edward Phelps Lyman Professorship Award recipients. The Francine Page Excellence in Teaching Award is presented annually to an adjunct faculty member who has shown dedication to his or her students and to the mission of the college through excellence in teaching. And at this time, I'd like to recognize our Francine Page Faculty Award recipients. The 2017 award recipient is David Rouse from our core division, who wasn't able to be with us today, but Nancy Nara, who is in attendance today, received the award just last year in 2016. We are also pleased to welcome Francine Page, the award's namesake, and an adjunct faculty member in our Division of Continuing Professional Studies. Nancy and Francine, would you stand and be recognized, please? Phelps Lyman Professorship Award is given to a senior faculty member of the college community who has shown dedication to students and to Champlain College through a record of service and excellence in teaching and advising. In addition, faculty members earning the Lyman Award have demonstrated a commitment to preparing students for careers in business and community service by working with students in academics, in citizenship, and in community activities. And at this time, I'll ask our previous Lyman Faculty Award recipients who are present with us today to please stand and be recognized. They include Michelle Miller, David Mona, Joe O'Grady, Laurel Bongiorno, Kathy Leo Nyquist, Nancy Kerr, and Warren Baker. We celebrate our award-winning faculty members today as we mark with you the beginning of your college career. To introduce this year's Lyman Faculty Award recipient, I'd now like to introduce Dr. Kathy Seiler. Dr. Seiler is Associate Professor of Biological and Biomedical Sciences and Coordinator of Science within the Division of Information Technology and Sciences, known as ITS. She is also the President of Champlain College's Faculty Senate. Please join me in welcoming Professor Seiler to the podium.
Thank you, Provost Quinn. I have the honor this afternoon of introducing this year's Edward Phelps Lyman Award recipient, Dr. Cindy Brandenburg, Professor in the Core Division. Professor Brandenburg received a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology with a minor in film studies from Dartmouth College. Later, she received a PhD in anatomy and neurobiology from the University of Vermont. She has taught at Champlain College since 1999, beginning teaching science courses and later moving into a position with the interdisciplinary core division. She is devoted not only to excellence in teaching, but also to excellence in the governance of the college. She has held multiple leadership positions at Champlain College, including holding every single officer position possible in the Faculty Senate. Dr. Brandenburg currently teaches all levels in the core division, including some very unique classes, one on immunity and another class about food. She co-leads some of our sophomore level travel courses, including those with trips to Jordan, Morocco, India, and Sri Lanka. In every conversation I've had with her about teaching, Dr. Brandenburg is always trying to figure out ways to help students learn, expand their horizons, and put it all together in ways they have never done before. She is not afraid to have fun in her classes. Take note, students, Brandenburg is her last name. This past spring, she did an Iron Chef cooking competition during one of her class sessions, for which I had the honor to serve as a judge. Now, only an exceptional teacher would dare to do such an activity in a 75-minute class period and ask a colleague to risk their intestinal health for the sake of student learning. She is also particularly well known for a demonstration known as demystifying duty. I'll leave what that's up to you to imagine. So no matter what she does, Dr. Brandenburg puts her whole self into it. That could mean rewriting curriculum, listening to students, writing a conference paper on student learning, or playing a round of golf. She embodies the best of a college professor: intelligence, kindness, humor, love of life, and a deep passion for teaching. Personally, Dr. Brandenburg is compassionate, funny, and empathetic. Students who take her classes, her colleagues, her friends, and her family members all appreciate her intelligence, quick wit, and passion for life. Personally, she has served as both a mentor and a colleague to me, and as someone I consider myself very lucky to call a very dear friend. Board of Trustees, colleagues, students, please join me in a very warm welcome for the 2017 Edward Phelps Lyman Professorship Award recipient, Dr. Cindy Brandenburg.
Convocation, please proceed to the Great Hall to pick up your robes prior to the sorting hat ceremony. Not Slytherin, not Slytherin. Please, not Slytherin. Sorry, I just couldn't resist saying that because every year, at least once during Convocation, my mind goes there, and I know some of your minds did too. Of course, that's fantasy, and this is reality. And luckily, we still have the ability to distinguish the difference between the two, even though it increasingly takes a bit of effort to do that. Now, for all you students seeing the faculty here for the first time, I promise this is not how we will show up when it comes time to teach your classes next week. In fact, you'll be lucky if some of us even bother to wear shoes. But that doesn't mean that you might not find groups of us on the second floor of Aiken discussing mysticism or caring for magical mascot-like creatures or advising the Quidditch team. For real. All right. Seriously though, I can see that many of you sitting in front of me now are experiencing a weird combination of excitement, fear, maybe even nausea. You might have slept all summer, or you might be recovering from a summer well spent and aggressively lived. But either way, I know you're ready to start in a year with all the unexplored possibilities and potential that lays in front of you. You're probably a little nervous too, and I'm thinking there's an internal dialogue going on in many of your heads that's saying something like, will they like me? Will I be smart enough? What if I offend someone? What if I blank out at that critical moment in the classroom or say something wrong? Well, faculty, I'm here to assure you that you've got this. You know what you're doing. Perfection is overrated. Frankly, it's dull. And all these new students are super lucky to have you as their teachers this year, so it's going to be okay. All right, now let me turn my attention to the rest of you, the class of 2021. As if I didn't seem nerdy enough already with my references to J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter, I am now going to reduce your entire college journey, and frankly the rest of your life, down to a simple geometry problem. Are you ready? The easiest path from point A, sorry, the math professor's looking at me like this. No, I got this, Melanie. The easiest path from point A to point B is a straight line. But frankly, it's also the most boring. Since you managed to get here, chances are that you've figured out how to navigate the straight relatively easy. And that's a really great skill to have. So I applaud you for your ability to graduate from high school in 4-ish years or so, to take the SATs or the ACTs once, maybe even twice, to master the art of the 5-paragraph essay, to apply to a solid collection of aspirational, long-shot, realistic, and safety schools, to get accepted to at least a few of them, to select at least one of them, and to choose a major. I also know that you went through the process of kind of packing up your clothes and maybe your stuffed animals, choosing a new comforter for your dorm room, and perhaps even buying a technically prohibited electric kettle. But always sticking so close to that predetermined life can be limiting, and without precaution, morph into an externally driven, depressing conveyor belt ride into an unimaginative future. So I am here today to encourage you to deviate, to step off the line, and to go off track. It is okay to move in an erratic diagonal, or to stop and pause, to sit on the side of the road, or perhaps to go full-on free fall down an unexpected rabbit hole, or in any other way wander off that predetermined path that is laid out before you. In the end, you'll get where you need to go, and you'll appreciate the journey all the more that got you there. Even if it turns out that through your openness to discovery, point B was never the right destination for you in the first place. Okay, here we go. Every moment in life is an infinite branch point of possibility. And while it's true that with every choice, those infinite possibilities collapse, a whole new series of infinite possibilities will present themselves to you. So be fearless in the face of the unknown and take chances all over the place. The results have the potential to be mathematically limitless. Trust me, I'm a scientist turned humanist, so I know these things. Okay, so Champlain College is unapologetically professionally focused, which is probably why you chose it. Super cool. But your life is bigger than that, and you are more than that. There's a long way to travel between your horizons. So step sideways, get a little lost, and remember that if you find yourself somewhere you never imagined you'd be, it's still going to be okay. It might even be awesome. If it turns into a mess, well, at least it'll be your mess, and it will be a beautiful one. So let me conclude by emphasizing how your experience over the next 4 years is intended to expand your understanding of how your life intersects with the world writ large. Frankly, in some ways, preparing these remarks today was really challenging because there's a dark mark in the air, and the world is a moving target, and the focus of our attention seems to shift by the week, by the day, maybe even by the hour. But we are grounded in a truth, and that truth is that these are difficult and challenging times. Pockets of profound poverty, the lack of equal access to quality education, growing international tensions, global health disparities, significant human rights abuses, impending catastrophic climate change, indifference, intolerance, the very survival of democracy, all couched in an era where magical thinking seems to increasingly triumph over rational thought. As educators, and by association the educated, our purpose transcends the fulfillment of individual, personal, and professional goals. We must face global problems like these head on, because we are ultimately here to fight for a collective humanity that everybody can be proud of. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we are not afraid to keep asking the tough questions. We are the challengers of the unknown. We will persist, and we invite you to join us. So to turn once again to J.K. Rowling, the good news is, when it comes to saving the world, education is not only the metaphorical room of requirement, it is the best defense against the dark arts that we've got, and it's real. So welcome to Champlain College. Let's do this. And now, on behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the Board of Trustees of Champlain College, I'm pleased to introduce Krista Bennett from the class of 2018 and president of the Student Government Association, also known as the SGA. She's going to help us kick off the introduction of this year's Distinguished Citizen Award. Krista is a filmmaking major from Owego, New York. I hope I pronounced that right. She has been involved in numerous activities at Champlain, including being a peer advisor, social events chair for the National Society of Leadership and Success, and a member of Champlain's Equestrian Club. As president, Krista aims to lead the SGA to be of greater service to students and to expand and build on her campus diversity. She's looking forward to a great year. Please join me in welcoming Krista Bennett.
Brandenburg, and on behalf of all students here on campus and the Student Government Association, aka SGA, I would like to welcome you again, class of 2021. This is your time. As Professor Brandenburg said, my name is Krista Bennett, and I am your SGA president. But by now you've probably heard the name SGA a couple times, and you're probably wondering what we are. Well, we are an organization that is student elected, and we are here to be the voice of the student body. Our representatives are made up by all 4 divisions and all of the graduating classes, and we have positions specifically for diversity and engagement. There are 21 students who serve under our mission to advocate and be liaisons to students for the faculty, staff, and administration. So, out of all the programs, clubs, and activities you can be a part of, why should you care about SGA? Well, SGA is a great way to get involved on campus. We encourage our students to stretch their wings, bring the new ideas to our tables, and we sponsor grants to aim to enhance the students' experiences. We help create and maintain all clubs on campus, and we sit and listen to all who walk through our doors. So, if you identify with any of these goals or values, I highly encourage you to please come meet us in our office, the Hearthstone, in Fireside. It's the glass building, you can't really miss it. Or feel free to send us an email at sga@champlain.edu. Even if you don't want to run, and I understand that it can be really nerve-wracking to run, I highly encourage you to come in and meet with us. We want to get to know you. We have an open door policy that means this space that we have for you is meant for you, and we want you to use it. And I look forward to getting to know each of you on a personal level. Now, I have the honor of introducing Champlain's president, Don Lockman. Donald J. Lockman is Champlain's 8th president since the founding of the college in 1878. Now, I know you've heard about President Lockman's professional accomplishments earlier today during orientation, but let me share with you what the upperclassmen know about Don. So, yes, you can call him Don, or feel free to call him President Lockman, or President Don, or Mr. Lockman. He's okay with any of these options. Beware. He often has a habit of dropping into lunch at the IDX, and he will sit with a random group of students and ask you questions. He did that to me this very day 3 years ago. He has office hours monthly that you can make an appointment to just sit down and talk with him. He highly encourages that you bring your resume, since we are a professionally focused school, and you set the agenda for the meeting. And beware, if you have a particularly interesting life story that is connected to Champlain, you're probably going to hear him tell the people about it. He is super proud of our students and all of our accomplishments. And lastly, he lives in the house next to Shillhammer. Who lives in Shillhammer? So, beware, residents of Shillhammer. He has dogs, and they may wake you up at 6 a.m. when they go out to play. Just beware of that. One of the benefits of SGA is that you get a chance to work directly with the leadership of this college. I've already had my opportunities to work with Don, and I look forward to partnering and seeing what we can accomplish together this oncoming year. So now please welcome President Don Lockman.
Thank you, Krista. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, class of 2021, to the Champlain College community. We congratulate you on all you have accomplished to arrive here today. For those of you who joined us this past spring for Admitted Students Days, I talked about the spyglass, which is an important symbol at our college. On the Rosendahl courtyard, there is a statue of Samuel de Champlain, the founder of New France and Champlain College's namesake, looking through a spyglass toward Lake Champlain. The spyglass is also one of our campus traditions. In 2013, we began presenting a wooden handcrafted Champlain spyglass to each graduating senior at commencement, inscribed with Champlain's Latin motto, Audiamus, or Let Us Dare, which Lori talked about. This is what you will receive from your student government association at graduation. But it's what this spyglass represents that is most important. It guides us to look into our future, to broaden and lengthen our view of ourselves and our world. For our college, it has been a helpful tool for defining what's next for Champlain and how we can continue to innovate and to provide you with the best educational experience. For you, the spyglass can be a symbolic way to envision your future. I encourage you now to look through your own virtual spyglass to what lies ahead for you in your time at Champlain. In doing so, I suggest you ask yourself 3 questions. First, what do you want to see? Ask yourself, who is the person you want to be in the years ahead as you walk through the procession to get your diploma? And what do you ultimately want to achieve? Second, how do you want to get there? Ask yourself what path you want to take and what experiences you want to pick up along the way. Your path may not be direct, as Professor Brandenburg said, and it will likely be influenced by many different perspectives. Here at Champlain, we provide diverse opportunities to learn from each other, from our local community, from our global community, to help you navigate your own journey. And finally, who do you want to be and how do you want to get there? These are 2 pretty weighty questions for the first day of college. So the third question is very important. It is, how can we help? We don't expect you to have all the answers. We know that this is a journey, and wherever you are, wherever this journey takes you, we are here to help. At Champlain, you have many resources for coaching and support, including your faculty, your career coach, your resident assistant, and our academic coaching staff, to name a few. If you remember one thing from today, it is ask for help. In my view, asking for help is a sign of strength. It shows that you know how to take advantage of available resources. Asking for help is especially normal at Champlain. Helping students is what faculty and staff live for here at Champlain. And as your president, I am here to help as well. I have an open door policy. Actually, I don't have a door, I have a cubicle, so you can just see me from the lobby. And I am open to meeting and talking about issues and opportunities on campus. I can't always solve everything myself, but I can get you the right place for answers. Our aim at Convocation is to share with you different perspectives to inspire you as you consider these 3 questions. And in that vein, I have the pleasure of introducing you to another of Champlain College's traditions, our Distinguished Citizen Award recipient. Each year, we recognize a distinguished citizen within our opening convocation ceremony. In fact, this year marks the 56th time Champlain College has named a distinguished citizen. The award is given annually by the college to a person who displays exceptional professional and personal achievement, a strong record of community service, and dynamic leadership based on equal parts intelligence and grit, creativity, and humility. The Distinguished Citizen Award is one way we honor and celebrate Champlain's role in the broader community and helps reinforce our commitment to strengthening our own community connections. The award also introduces our incoming class to a leader in the community, a person who through their actions and accomplishments will serve as both an inspiration and an aspiration to all of you as you begin your journey at Champlain towards becoming globally engaged citizens. Previous recipients of Champlain's Distinguished Citizens Award are listed in your program. I encourage you to learn about them. They are inspirational individuals who each have a unique path to professional success and community leadership. This year's Distinguished Citizen is Tiffany Bloomley. Since 2015, Tiffany has served as the director of Change the Story Vermont, a multi-year systemic approach to improving women's economic opportunities. Change the Story is an initiative of 3 statewide organizations with a long-standing focus on women's economic well-being: the Vermont Women's Fund, the Vermont Commission on Women, and Vermont Works for Women. Its mission is to align policy, program, and philanthropy to significantly improve women's economic status in Vermont. Tiffany has worked in politics as part of the Mondale presidential campaign and in education as a middle and high school history teacher. She worked at NYC Outward Bound, where she developed a deep passion for helping young people discover and develop their talent and voice. Prior to her role at Change the Story Vermont, she served as the executive director for Vermont Works for Women for 17 years. Over the past decade, Tiffany's work has been honored by Princeton University, the John Merck Fund, KeyBank, and the Lake Champlain Regional Chamber of Commerce. Tiffany received a master's in public administration from the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University and her BA from Princeton University. She is a former member of Princeton's Board of Trustees and currently serves on the boards of Vermont Energy Investment Corporation and Public Assets Institute. She lives in Burlington with her partner, Liz Shane, and her 2 sons, Will and Jake, who all join her here today. Tiffany's colleagues from Change the Story, Lindsay Lathrop Ryan and Jessica Nordhaus, are also with us here today. It is an incredible honor to have Tiffany as our distinguished citizen this year for all that she does for our Vermont community. Class of 2021, distinguished guests, faculty, and staff, please join me in congratulating and welcoming Champlain College's distinguished citizen for 2017, Tiffany Bloomley.
Hello. President Lockman, trustees, members of the faculty and administration, I'm really honored and humbled by this recognition. From my point of view, Champlain College sets the bar in so many ways. You're deeply connected to Burlington, but you are anything but parochial. You're entrepreneurial and you're collaborative. And I'm amazed by the scope and the seriousness of Champlain's commitment to inclusion and diversity. While a lot of those initiatives in colleges function sporadically or in silos, Champlain's approach appears to be incredibly holistic, embedded across divisions and contexts. And a hearty hello to you, members of Champlain's brilliant class of 2021. So I was doing a little bit of research about you, and according to what the Pew Foundation says, I already like you. You supposedly respect your elders. You get along with your parents. You're the most diverse generation in American history and the most educated. You vote. And you are the same age as my eldest son, and I like him. And clearly, Champlain likes you, too. Marking your first day with robes and tents and speeches and picnics. Now, I do not remember any such fancy pants reception on my first day. I actually recall my grandparents dropping me and a giant steamer trunk at the side of the road, pressing $10 into my hand for a very cheap emergency, and kissing me goodbye. And I think they stopped the car, but I'm not even sure of that. When they'd rounded the corner, my trunk and I climbed 4 flights of stairs to meet my new roommate and the 24 men with whom we would share a bathroom on 1 floor. That, in a nutshell, was my convocation. So when I settled into my dorm, 38, it just sounds so long ago. 38 years ago, I would never have predicted that I would spend the bulk of my life working to advance women's well-being, because I really didn't imagine it would be necessary. When I was in college, women shattered one glass ceiling after another. Sally Ride was the first American woman to go into space. Sandra Day O'Connor was appointed to the Supreme Court, and in 1984, as I stood on the floor of the Democratic Convention, Geraldine Ferraro became the first woman to appear on a major presidential ticket. So it seemed to me that women could do anything. It certainly seemed to me that I could do anything. But I fretted as I donned my cap and gown 4 years later. What would that be? There's a brick wall across from Speer and Earls, onto which someone has painted the words of Frederick Buechner, who's one of my favorite theologians. Vocation, it reads, is the place where our deep gladness meets the world's deep need. I think that some of us pop out of the womb aware of our deep gladness and what we are meant to do. I was not one of those people. But I did know this. More than anything, I wanted to care deeply about what I did. And that came from observing my mother. She was an actress who moved to LA after my parents divorced, and she was, by Hollywood standards, old, 32. She made a fair number of commercials and special appearances on various television shows, but she wasn't as successful as she'd have liked. She did love every minute of it that she was on set. Watching her, what I learned was that work could be a tremendous source of joy, and I wanted that for myself. As it turned out, I found my deep gladness in wanting that kind of joy for everyone. I taught history, not because I cared so very much about history, my apologies to the history professors here, but because it was really thrilling to watch young people come into their own. So if a student struggled in class, I'd be sure to catch their dance recital or their basketball game, because I wanted to see them in their element. I wanted them to feel seen by me. And the same impulse drew me to Vermont Works for Women, where much of the programming focused on women who had struggled at work, had limited experience, or who had a prison record. And until then, I understood very little about poverty. I had never set foot in a prison, and I'm really, really embarrassed to admit that I didn't know that so many women lacked access to affordable childcare and even paid sick days. And my God, we were training carpenters, and I have sliced my cheek with a 25-foot tape. That's hard to do. And so I'm really completely unhandy. In some ways, I was incredibly ill-suited for the job. But what I did understand was the desire of women who came through our doors to find work that felt meaningful, that they might love. So you never think, oh, I'll probably stay here 17, 18 years. And I never expected to stay that long at Vermont Works for Women. But somehow that's what I did. I was certainly never bored, perhaps because I was routinely humbled by truths I had somehow missed or ignored, like the incredible unfairness of my own privilege, or the razor's edge on which so many women and families' lives are balanced, or about the enormous courage it can take to plant one's stake in the ground and affirm to anyone who will hear it, and especially those who won't, I am, I will. The work for which I'm being honored today began about a year before you were born. Ironically, that is also almost precisely the time the progress for women slowed down. It does not reflect very well on my career, perhaps. So I'm just going to give you a couple examples of how. In 1999, 3 states were governed by women. Today, there are 4. In 1999, the poverty rate for young women was 12%. Today, it's 5 points higher. In 1999, the wage gap weighed in at 16%. Today, it's, well, 16%. So what does that mean? At the current pace, the wage gap will not close for another 32 years. I may be discouraged by these numbers, but I'm still in the game. I owe that to my mother, too. She lost more parts than she landed. That was the law of averages in that field. And when she didn't get a job, she didn't mask her disappointment. By watching her, I learned to accept that if work can bring joy, it can also bring pain, precisely because it has meaning. And so, to you, members of the class of 2021, has a really nice ring to it. May you discern your deep gladness in this and in the years to follow, and may that deep gladness meet the world's pressing needs. There are so many, but you are so capable. It's what enables me to be wildly optimistic in the face of such challenge. Thank you all very much, members of this community, for an honor that I am very grateful for and means a lot.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for those words. Thanks also to Krista Bennett and to Professor Cindy Brandenburg. I know that your words mean a great deal to our class of 2021. We end this auspicious occasion today with you, the class of 2021, following your orientation leaders to walk the procession route. This gives us, faculty, staff, college leadership, and members of the board, the honor of officially welcoming you to Champlain with a round of applause to mark your Convocation Day and the official start of your college education. You'll then proceed to the Finney Quad, where you'll take your class photo. Class of 2021, congratulations on beginning your academic journey at Champlain College. We can't wait to get to know you and help you achieve your own dreams and career aspirations. You have all of our best wishes. Thank you.
Please welcome Becky Peterson and Linda Wheeler and join them in singing Champlain College's alma mater. Following the singing of the alma mater, please stand while the platform party and faculty process out of the tent. You will then follow your orientation leaders out of the tent along the procession route back over to Finney Quad for your official Class of 2021 photo.
Come join in festive song together as we sing of old Champlain. Hearken to the joyous chorus and the sweet, sweet ling-ling refrain. We'll sing our song with spirit and we'll raise the green and white. Always onward, never slowing, goals for air in sight. Hold the name of Champlain sacred, praise it loud and strong. We will march to victory as we sing our golden song. Now our alma mater reigns the queen of destiny. We will pledge our lives to duty, never failing thee. Hearken to the joyous chorus and the sweet refrain. Join in festive song together, sing of old Champlain.
Yeah. That's our thing.